What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Yacht Addiction YouTube channel. It's Tony here. We're sitting here in the bridge of an Ava Yachts Kando 110 Explorer yacht. Guys, this is an incredible listing. It's listed for sale by Jeff Stanley at Gilman Yachts of Fort Lauderdale. This yacht has a steel hull and an aluminum superstructure. Its range is very impressive. I'm not going to give it away now. You're going to have to stick to the end to see in the engine room when I talk about it. The yacht is 110 feet in length, but it feels so much larger than that. It has a beam of 25 feet and 7 inches and a draft of 8 feet and 4 inches. But as we're going through this tour, I know I'm going to repeat myself multiple times, but this yacht truly feels like it's 130, maybe even 135 feet in length. It's a fantastic Explorer yacht. So let's cut to the back of the super yacht on the swim platform where we normally get started. We're going to check out every single area on board. So without further ado, let's get started with this Ava Yachts Kando 110 super yacht tour. Let's go ahead and get started with this tour. Obviously, we're at the back on the swim platform, and you'll see the door in the transom wall. This leads down to the engine room as well as the crew area, and we'll make our way into those areas later on in the tour. We're going to start, as we usually do, up here on the aft deck. And you'll see this huge table with the U-shaped seating that wraps around and the additional chairs. You have the spiral staircase leading up to the bridge deck. And then you also have the bar area built in over here. And you probably heard those powered glass doors automatically opening. So I think it's time we make our way into the main salon. And the first thing you'll notice as we step into the main salon, this yacht, and this was installed after the fact, but this yacht has an elevator to take you up between the different decks. And then you'll see the lovely seating areas on either side of this main salon. And then as we continue forward, you'll find the storage. We have multiple wine fridges and refrigerators in here. And then here is the formal dining area. And then continuing up the starboard side, here is the main foyer area of the yacht. So you have the stairs going up and down, of course. You have your main side access door right here. And then through this door, we have the day head for this level. And this is a really large day head. You normally don't see them this big. And then the owner's suite is located on the main deck. Guys, I'm going to be repeating myself throughout this tour, but at 110 feet, it's incredible. You have such a huge office space before you even make your way into the owner's suite. You have another door to separate the areas if you want to. And then here on the main deck, of course, you have this massive owner's suite. And I'm loving the accent lighting, both in the ceiling and underneath the bed. You have a beautiful view outside of these windows. Little dressing table. And then panning around, of course, you have the TV built into the wall. And I'm really liking the design elements in a lot of the different rooms. I liked it in the dining room. And then look at this, you have the lighting and the millwork. Looks incredible. And then on this side of the TV, we have our walk-in closet. And this yacht is privately owned, so I'm not going to open up all the different closets. You can get a good sense of there's so much storage space in here. And let me back all the way up so you can see it's a pretty deep space. And then coming around, over here is where we find your ensuite. So right away, you notice some pretty large windows. You have the jetted tub, as well as the stand-up shower. Huge rainfall attachment. And then, of course, your double vanity, toilet, and bidet. Hopefully you can just tell by this owner suite, the volume is already very impressive. But just wait, guys, we're just getting started. We're going to swing around and we'll head down to the guest cabins next Those are going to be located down this staircase. And we have 4 guest cabins down here. And there's also a bonus guest cabin off of the galley, which I'll show you that obviously when we get to that point. You have mirrored VIP cabins. So the first is right here. You have your closets over here, and then of course the ensuite with the shower located behind the door. And there are magnetic stoppers for the doors, so they're not going to slam into the shower or anything like that. You probably saw it, but of course your TV is mounted right here. Then continuing forward, even though this is one of the smaller cabins, quote unquote, this is still a huge space. You have the double bed, TV on the wall, a desk or dressing table, and a very large ensuite. You can see this cabin is mirrored to the last. Guys, I know we skipped that mirrored VIP cabin. The crew, I'm actually several hours early on the first day of the boat show here in Palm Beach. They're still doing their final touches in that room, so we're gonna skip it, but I promise it's the exact same as the first VIP cabin we saw. You have the 4 cabins down there. We have the huge owner suite that we saw. This of course brings us back to the main salon in the dining room. And then over in this direction, naturally you will find the galley. Right away, you're greeted by your full-size fridge and freezer. You have a dumbwaiter right behind this door, so obviously you can send your food up. And continuing further, you have your oven, cooktop of course, dishwasher and sink. And then I mentioned that there's a bonus cabin off of the galley. Currently this is being used by the captain, but there is a captain's cabin up behind the bridge as well. So if you wanted to, you could use this as a guest cabin. Down this staircase, and there is a watertight door separating this area. Here we have another cabin. And this is still finished really nicely down here. You have the V berth, 2 single beds, the really nice upholstery work as well. And then the ensuite for this one, it's located right here. And it's just as nice as all of the other ensuites. Like I said, this is currently being used by the captain, I believe. All the closets are right here, and there's also the dressing table. But this also makes for a fantastic guest cabin. So I really like that you have the flexibility there between the different cabin options. Now, I think it's time that we head upstairs. Let's head back to the foyer area. The first thing you're greeted by is the day head for this level. And I think we'll head forward first and we'll check out the bridge. You have a step up into this beautiful pilot house. And look at that. You have the bench seating right behind, your captain's chair, and then of course the very modern suite of electronics. You have 4 really large multifunction displays And then the very aggressive angled windows as well. So you actually have pretty great visibility from the bridge. There is a desk located right here, and you also have the side access doors on either side. And then here is that captain's cabin I mentioned. Now the only thing I'll say is this one does not have an ensuite. So that's obviously one area where you have to give up. But keep in mind, guys, this yacht is 110 feet, so there's only so much they can do. Obviously, I'm sure you felt it as we're walking through. Like I said, 130 to 135 feet, that's really what this yacht feels like. That is a minor thing that obviously makes sense why the captain is using that forward guest cabin when you don't actually need to use this cabin. But either way, you have it, so it's nice to have the space. And then continuing back, this is the Skylounge. And they just kept this wide open. You have your large sofa, and you'll see you have a huge TV on the wall, and the entire wall has that mirrored appearance. But don't worry, there is a TV built into that. Really good sized windows on this area as well. And then of course, you're gonna have a fully stocked bar area with your sink, refrigerator, ice maker underneath. And then just a little circular table over here. And of course, this is where that elevator will lead you to. So let me give you one more huge panning shot of this room. Guys, if you're enjoying this Ava Yachts Kando 110 Super Yacht Tour so far, please leave a like on the video. That helps me out more than you could ever know. I greatly appreciate it. Another set of powered glass doors that sense your presence. Then we have some teak furniture out here on the bridge deck aft. There's just some storage in this area. And then of course the stairs leading down to the aft deck where we started. Now we're gonna head up to the sun deck. And this is a massive sun deck. This yacht just impresses me with every single area. And since we're here, we'll start all the way aft. You have an infinity pool. So I know everyone's favorite, you gotta have the jacuzzi, especially on a yacht like this. You have the sun pads on either side. And I call this an infinity pool because you have the glass edge on the far side. And then over in this section, you have the hardtop. You have a really large bar area on this side. And of course, this is complete with everything you need to make drinks and snacks. You have your ice makers, refrigerators, the sink, all that type of stuff. You have another huge alfresco dining area. So the large U-shaped seating once again. You have a wine fridge right down here. More seating littered throughout. You can see the speakers, of course. And then up on the sun deck, you actually have a second helm station. Obviously downstairs, you have that very impressive bridge, but it's still nice to have the second set of controls up here on the sun deck or the fly bridge. You can see your throttle controls will be right under this cover. And another little sun pad all the way forward. And this is actually, I think this is the elevator shaft. And then here, get this beautiful view off the front of the yacht. Yeah, what can I say? I'm very impressed with this fly bridge or the sun deck. And also, I'm just honestly very impressed with this yacht. It's incredible that they managed to fit all of this in 110 feet. But we still have even more to see. We'll head back down the staircase. And we'll take this one as well, because we're gonna go up to the bow. This door will lead you down to the crew area as well as the engine room, so you don't have to go through the door on the transom. Here's that side access door to the galley. Then if we take a few steps up, Here's that door to the bridge. You do have wing stations on either side, so I'll give you a shot of those. We'll walk around through the Portuguese bridge. But up here, this is more of the storage and business end. This is where you'll store your tender, or of course you could have multiple toys up here. You could have jet skis, whatever you want. And I believe you could fit a tender as well as a jet ski over on this side. I'm sure there's a bunch of different configurations you can do. And of course you can see the crane here. And then obviously you're gonna have some very heavy duty equipment up here for your anchors. And let's go all the way forward, because I do like to give a shot facing back towards the yacht. Now we're going to head back down to the engine room, and you'll also be able to see the crew area on this one. Excuse me. So back down to the swim platform where we started. You'll see the transom door right here. You can easily swing that open with one hand. It's a little loud down here. You'll see your laundry. Excuse me. And then you have another watertight door. Now this is where the crew area begins. So you can see you have another oven, the sink, dishwasher, more cold storage. And it's finished to a pretty nice degree down here. You have the L-shaped seating wrapped in leather. You have the table. Some nice upholstery work back here. You also have the TV. And then this is that staircase from the port side when we were walking up to the bow. That door, this is where this leads down to. Of course, you have the bonding system to monitor the yacht. And then we have two additional crew cabins down in this area behind door number 1 and door number 2. And here's a quick look at one of the crew cabins. I mean, guys, this is a huge crew cabin. I'm very impressed with this. You have the bunk beds, but they're definitely bigger than a single. It looks like a 1.5 type of size. You have their desk, large closet, and you have tons of real estate here, so that's great. And then across the hall, this is the shared head for the crew. But this is also finished really nicely. And the doors as well, very high quality with the woodwork as well as the upholstery built right in. And I think I mentioned it, but you also have the cooktop as well. Really nice crew area. This yacht, technically it sleeps 5 crew, so you have 2 of the double rooms as well as the captain's room. Now we're going to open this door up, which grants us access to the engine room. You can see your massive Kohler generators. Obviously, I'm going to link this listing below, so if you want to see all the upgrades that have been made and all of the different system specs on board, make sure you check that out if you're interested. I also, of course, put a bunch of the specifications in the description of the video down below. And here you can see the engines. Here's a better shot of one of them. Now, I know I teased it in the beginning. Let me tell you about the performance on this yacht. This yacht comes with a pair of Volvo Penta D16 MH engines. These are 650 horsepower each. So naturally, it's a pretty big, pretty heavy ship. You're not gonna have the fastest top speed. Your top speed is around 13.8 knots, very precise. You can cruise at 10 knots or 10.4 knots to be precise. And guys, as I mentioned, steel hull, aluminum superstructure. This yacht has a very impressive range of 65, you heard me correct, 6,500 nautical miles. And it all comes in this 110-foot package. Tons of headroom overhead. I'm standing up on this platform. We're about 1.5 to 2 feet below this step. and I still have tons of headroom overhead. So this is just a very impressive engine area, and honestly, a very impressive Explorer yacht. Let's close this up behind us. And of course, I'm going to give you another shot of the main salon, because that's how I like to wrap up these videos. Excuse me. Thank you.
No problem. You done in there?
Yes, I'm done.
My way to just like be away for a while, save some money. And then head up meeting this guy at the restaurant.
All right, everyone. One more shot of this beautiful formal dining area. Love these little details in the columns. Thank you, of course, to Jeff Stanley at Gilman Yachts of Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to link this listing below. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of this one. I mean, I know I've said it like 4 or 5 times now, so I know you've probably heard me, you've heard enough, but I'm just so impressed with how big this yacht is compared to its length. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you next time.